but a quick, easy, and tasty fish recipe is always a good staple to keep in your weekly dinner rotation, and it's new this week on Meal Prep Monday. All right, so today we're gonna be making something that I always struggle with, fish. It always sounds good, but then I just never really quite know how to pull it together, and everyone says it's easy, but I never feel like it is. But this recipe seems to be very easy. It smells delicious. We're making this delicious salmon with some lemon and dill. So Katie, tell us a little bit more about how we pull this one all together.
Absolutely, and you are not alone in feeling kind of intimidated by fish. People say that it's easy because it cooks the fastest. We only have to get it to 145, but if you don't know how to cook it, no matter what, it's gonna seem a little bit intimidating. So tonight we are just going to put some salmon fillets right in a kind of Pyrex baking dish. And you can use frozen fillets if you thaw them out. You can get them fresh, whatever you've got at home. And then our first step here is to add some lemon slices to our pan.
I feel like lemons and salmon always go together.
Yep, so they look pretty at the end and they're gonna kind of help give it that flavor during. And then I'll have you add that 1/4 cup of dry white wine. So you can pick whichever one you want. It's this one, yeah.
Okay, all right.
That one.
That one.
Yep.
Cooking with wine, always a good idea.
Yes. So we add that in there, and so that's going to kind of give us our liquid at the bottom. And then we've got a little cup of dill, and so we are going to add that dill to it as well. And so this is just going to give it kind of that herby flavor. And if you don't have dill, or maybe you grow a different type of herb in your garden, you can absolutely use a different one here too.
I never have fresh dill, but sometimes I have dried. So with dried, I just use...
You just a little bit less. Yep, the dried is a little bit more pungent, okay? So honestly, if just this went in the oven, it would taste wonderful, but we're gonna add a little bit of sauce to it as well. So that is some olive oil. So if we just wanna kind of put, and we're gonna mix it all together. So we've got some olive oil. And then if you wanna add the lemon juice. So we've got
our lemon juice here.
3 tablespoons of lemon juice there. Again, gonna give it that nice lemony flavor. Got about a teaspoon of honey to give it a little bit of sweetness. So I'm just gonna give a little squeeze in there.
This is kind of like a salad dressing.
A little bit, a lot like it actually. One of the ones that I make is very similar to this. Teaspoon of Dijon mustard. There we go.
Oh, that was more than a teaspoon.
That's all right. I like them that way.
I like mustard too.
Yes, and then we're just gonna give a little bit of salt. So the recipe calls for a teaspoon. If you like things salty, you can add more. If you're trying to kind of watch your salt, add less. And then we're just gonna mix it up until it's all kind of one, looks like a sauce. It's not all split out. And then we just add it over top of our salmon fillets. So we're just gonna kind of pour it right over top. And then this is going to go in the oven at 350 for about 16 to 20 minutes. You want to check based on how thick your salmon is. You might have to go a little bit less. If you got a really thick salmon fillet, you might have to go a little bit more. But how you tell when it's done, if you don't have a thermometer, best thing is always the thermometer, so 145. If you don't, you just take a fork and you kind of press it to your salmon and it kind of flakes. Yep, and that's how you know that it's done.
Ah, what a great trick. And then we can just serve whatever leftovers you have in the fridge for vegetables or starch or whatever you want to serve with it.
You've got your protein here. If you have kind of a quick, like, minute-ready brown rice, that'd be a great thing there. Any Hy-Vee shortcuts for the veggies, you've got a full meal.
Awesome. Katie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You can head to our website and search Meal Prep Mondays in the search bar at the top of the page, and you can find all of our Hy-Vee meal prep recipes in that section of WQAD.com.